Good morning, Mr. Walsh and the entire Sport and Exercise Science staff of the Australian Women's Rugby Sevens team. My name is Juliana and this is Elvin. Today we are here to present our qualitative and quantitative performance analysis of the final between Australia and New Zealand at the Women's Sevens World Series 2017 hosted in Clement, Queensland. The purpose of performing this analysis is to identify the key performance indicators within rugby and evaluate these findings to assist in improving the tactics that are employed within games, the execution of key movement patterns, and the technique of players within the Australian Women's Sevens team in order to ultimately achieve increased performances and in turn be successful within matches. The key performance indicators or KPIs that we have identified within this analysis include possession, kickoffs, tackles, tries, and conversions. Possession was defined as the team who held onto the ball during the diverse plays throughout the game. Hence, the subcategories of possession included Australia possession and New Zealand possession. Kickoffs were classified as when the ball was kicked from the halfway line at the start of the game or a half or following a team scoring a try. The kickoff had to travel a distance of at least 10 metres, which was measured using the 10-metre line marked on the field. In addition, retained possession and lost possession were included as the subcategories of kickoffs, whereby retained possession was identified as the team who performed the kickoff continued to hold onto and maintain the ball preceding the kickoff. Therefore, lost possession was classified as the team who performed the kickoff were unable to successfully maintain the ball preceding the kickoff, and thus the opposite team regained the ball.
The KPI tackles included missed tackles and made tackles. A made tackle was defined as a player either bringing another player down to the ground and or slowing them and holding them long enough to cause a ruck to be formed. Alternatively, a missed tackle was defined as a player not successfully bringing another player down to the ground and or being able to slow them down and hold them long enough to have a ruck formed and thus play continued. A try was defined as when an offensive player placed the ball down inside the opposition's goal area between the try line and the dead ball line. A try is worth 5 points. Following a scored try, a conversion is then taken and thus was included as a final KPI of the analysis. A conversion is a kick taken from a point in line where the ball was placed in the goal area for the scored try and directed towards the inside of the goalposts. Conversions were categorized as missed and successful. A missed conversion was classified as a kick which did not go through the middle of the goalposts. Therefore, a successful conversion is a kick which did go through the middle of the goalpost and is worth 2 points. Initially, the performance of the Australian team within this World Series final against New Zealand was analysed qualitatively with the video analysis software LongoMatch, whereby ourselves and two expert coaches in the field of Rugby Sevens simply viewed the video footage of the game.
Firstly, the final score of this game was 22 to New Zealand and 7 to Australia. Subsequently, the following opinions and interpretations of the strengths and weaknesses of the Australian team's performance were formulated. Australia was able to execute highly accurate passes and effective sequencing of passes during the times in which they did have possession of the ball. In addition, when New Zealand made breaks, particularly down the middle channel of the field, Australia were able to defend efficiently with making successful tackles to aid in reducing the amount of distance New Zealand could cover during these plays. However, the New Zealand players throughout the game did display more spread in their positioning, which therefore allowed them to be able to play more passes down the left and right channels of the field, as displayed in the following images. Therefore, as a result of the Australian team positioning themselves more within the middle channel of the field, the New Zealand team was subsequently able to score more tries through the left and right channels of the field. Australia frequently attempted to attack New Zealand's try line down the middle channel of the field and predominantly did not utilise and or play the ball to the left and right channels of the field, which is potentially likely to have led to missed opportunities to score a try. Miscommunication between the Australian players at times did subsequently contribute to losses in possession of the ball and for New Zealand to regain the ball and attack. During penalties and kickoffs, Australia could have utilised set plays more often as an offensive advantage. Instead, however, there were times where Australia appeared slightly disorganised in their positioning and ineffective communication during these plays, which consequently limited their opportunities to score. Finally, within conducting the initial qualitative analysis, it was discussed and agreed upon that when Australia did obtain possession of the ball and did make a break to attack New Zealand's goal line, there were times that the players who made the break did not have many options in terms of being able to play the ball to other team members, and as a result led to either a loss of possession or a tackle being made by New Zealand. Overall, the Australian team displayed a sound performance within the World Series final. However, as highlighted within this qualitative analysis, there are definitely key areas the Australian team can develop to in turn improve their performance.
In addition, with quantifying the identified KPI measurements, the preceding results are likely to further assist in evaluating the Australian team's performance and the development of strategies, which can be employed within subsequent training. Continuing to utilise the video analysis software Longo Match, it was established that Australia had duration of 2 minutes and 35 seconds of possession in comparison to New Zealand having 4 minutes and 49 seconds of possession throughout the 14-minute game. Therefore, developing the Australian players' ability to retain and/or regain possession within matches is an important aspect to emphasise within training to thus be able to transfer this into games. Furthermore, practicing in training set plays, particularly during kickoffs and penalties, as well as ensuring that the players' field positioning is well spread across all channels of the field, can help improve possession. Potentially devoting more time into training to simulation scenarios of when a break occurs to allow the players to practice being able to get quickly into a position to attack and provide options to the offensive members of the team could also assist in increasing and maintaining the amount of possession Australia has within games.
In relation to possession, the 2 kickoffs Australia had during this game resulted in lost possession. Both kickoffs were directed towards the players in the outer channels of the field. However, in each of the kickoffs, the accuracy of the kick was slightly reduced in conjunction with the players on the outer channels not being able to successfully obtain the ball. Thus, dedicating time in training to practice kicking and receiving and controlling passes from a height, as well as developing and implementing set plays for kickoffs in particular, is likely to be of a benefit to the Australian team in order to enhance their ability to maintain possession preceding the kickoff and subsequently attack the goal line.
A total of 49 tackles were made within the game. Of those 49 tackles, Australia had made 31 tackles and New Zealand made 18 tackles. Australia had 23 made tackles and 18 missed tackles, whereas New Zealand had made 16 tackles and 2 missed tackles. These further highlight that New Zealand did have more possession of the ball throughout the game and were more effective in making successful tackles. However, in quantifying the percentage of made and missed tackles out of the total tackles for Australia independently, 74.2% of the total tackles were made and 25.8% of the total tackles were missed. Therefore, the Australian team did display some strength in their ability to successfully tackle the opposition. However, continuing to emphasise and practice sufficient tackling technique training with the simulation of game scenarios with and without contact pads, for example, is likely to aid in further improving the tackling capabilities of the players and hence the defensive performance of the team as a whole for future matches.
Within this final, Australia scored 1 try and conceded 4 tries, therefore resulting in a loss for Australia. A team's ability to maintain possession, create opportunities to make breaks, and attack the opposition's goal line, as well as make successful tackles, can all have an influence on a team scoring a try and also preventing the opposition from scoring a try. Therefore, as mentioned previously, improving Australia's possession capabilities through the development and application of key set plays and encouraging and implementing the tactic of playing more offensively as opposed to defensively could potentially lead to Australia having increased opportunities to score tries. In addition, to reduce the number of opportunities the opposition has to score a try, it is suggested the Australian team continues to build upon and improve their defensive performance in training by reinforcing that all players are well positioned across the channels of the field and that adequate technique is continuously being used in tackles in order to prevent tries from being conceded in future games. Through the conduction of this quantitative analysis, it was also identified that Australia did exhibit strength in their ability to execute a successful conversion. However, it is important to note that within this game, Australia did solely perform 1 conversion kick, which is taken from directly in front of the goalpost at a distance of 10 to 15 metres at most. Therefore, the ability to truly determine and obtain an accurate understanding of the strength of Australia's kicking performance in conversions is limited from this current quantitative analysis. Subsequently, it is recommended that this KPI of conversions is analysed further in other matches whereby Australia performed a greater amount of conversion kicks from differing angles and distances. Based on the obtained data, however, it is recommended that the current methods and strategies of training that are being implemented to enhance the kicking performance of players is to continue to be utilised with further consideration and practice of conversion kicks taken from greater distances and angles in training in order to assist Australia in being able to continuously display effective execution of conversions.
In evaluating the results of the KPIs quantitatively and the suggested methods that have been provided to aid in improving the performance of the Australian team, It is essential to also consider the player's cardiovascular endurance, fitness, and strength. A player's cardiovascular endurance, fitness, and strength plays an incredibly important role in developing and improving the execution of sufficient technique within the key movement patterns of the sport. Therefore, it is recommended that consideration and assessment of the player's physiology is conducted to investigate the degree at which the player's fitness and strength is also contributing to the decreases in the performance within the identified KPIs, and thus if training should include more cardiovascular and strength conditioning in conjunction with more time dedicated to reinforcing specific skills and the delivery of efficient and effective technique. In conclusion, utilising the longer match software to conduct both the qualitative and quantitative analysis of the Australian Women's Sevens in this World Series final against New Zealand has enabled us to identify and present the key strengths and weaknesses of the Australian team's performance. Subsequently, through obtaining this information, it allows us to be better able to construct and implement key strategies and techniques within training to assist in developing the areas of weakness to enhance the performance of the Australian team to thus provide them with best opportunity to be successful in future matches. Furthermore, developing Australia's ability to maintain and regain possession of the ball is incredibly important to emphasise and dedicate increased time in training to, as it is a key underlying factor within improving the performance across a variety of identified KPIs and hence plays an important role in aiding to improve the overall performance of Australia.